guys. Welcome back. Thank
Welcome,
you
welcome,
for
welcome,
tuning in to
welcome,
another
welcome.
episode with us. I'm your girl Deanne,
I'm your boy D Rich
and this is Nigas.
with opinions.
That's right, and we're gonna talk about some things tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. D, let's give a shout out to everyone who's listening to us. So
Yeah. Everybody who watched the show last week, we greatly appreciate it.
yes, on YouTube
Yes,
and
on Spotify,
yes,
Apple,
Anchor.
yes, Apple Podcasts. What's the third? What's the third one?
If you're watching this live
Oh,
on
we
Facebook or
live on
Instagram,
IG and live on
yes,
Facebook.
we definitely want to thank you guys. We are a small podcast, and we do need your support just to make this bigger. So we really appreciate you guys and thank you for tuning in with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So D, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a little bit of actually searching for homes. I helped
Okay.
one of my friends out here. She's looking for a new house. So
All right.
yes, I am a real estate agent. So working on that exit realty expanded
Okay.
vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
All
did
right.
that a little bit. Got ready. Working on our podcast. Played some football with my
Okay.
friends. So that didn't go as well as we would have liked, but it's all good. It's all good. It was a good weekend overall. How about
All
yourself?
right. Yeah, I don't really do much. I took
Yeah.
Scratchy for a wash. Scratchy is the name of my car. Someone
Oh,
keyed,
okay. I was
yeah,
about to say that.
yeah.
I was like,
See,
you got a
yeah,
dog? I didn't know
someone,
you had
yeah,
a
someone
dog.
keyed the hell out my car, so I
Oh,
took her
Lord.
for
Yeah,
a
that's
wash.
right. That's right. That's right. You
Yeah, I
showed
still
me.
got those
Yeah,
scratches.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I was in the gym because it's sundress season, baby. So
Oh,
I
yes.
got to get it right.
Yeah.
Got to get it
Have
tight.
to. Have to.
But I don't know, like when Friday approaches, I be feeling like my confidence level. Like I just be ready to go home to go to sleep.
I, to go to sleep, your confidence level was up here,
Yeah,
but you
just
be
because I
ready.
know I get to go home, I get to stay up, watch my little
I
shows,
hear you.
relax.
I hear you.
Because I look at it like the day belongs to the man,
Amen.
but the night belongs to Deuce.
There you go. There you,
You
go.
feel me?
That's
So
no, I hear
yeah.
you on that.
So I just and then you lay down, go to sleep, and it's Sunday night.
It's Sunday night. Oh, that's
But
it.
the best part about Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, is that I know Monday I'm going to be
It's
here
around the
with
corner.
him.
Yes, yes,
So what I
yes.
want us to do is make Monday like Friday. Like how people can't wait. They
Right.
anticipate, oh, it's
Right.
Friday, I'm gonna turn up. I want people to tune in to us like it's Love and Hip Hop.
Monday night.
Yes, I want
Be
y'all
ready.
to crave Monday.
Niggas.
Let's make Monday great like Friday.
Migas
Yeah,
with
are you with it?
opinions.
Yes.
I'm with it. I'm with
Okay,
it. Let's
yes.
get it. Let's get it.
So
Let's
what we
get it.
talking about tonight, D? Let's let the viewers know.
So diving into our subject, as you know, we touched on Nipsey Hussle last week.
Yes, we
you know,
did.
his tragic death.
Yes.
We touched on, the different ways he affected our community, the different ways, the different conspiracies that are out there, as far as with him, with Dr. Sebi, whether or not how he actually passed when when it board comes down to it, he died at the hands of one of us.
That's very true.
So
Right.
I mean,
Very true.
conspiracies aside,
Right.
it was a black man that pulled the trigger.
Right.
So with that being said, that's going to segue us into our subject for the week, which is going to be, is the black community our biggest enemy?
That's let that marinate for a second.
Right.
Can you say it again, brother? For the
Is
people in the back.
for the people all the
And
way
all
back
the way
there,
in the back. Yes.
is the black community our biggest enemy?
Wow, that was pretty deep.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't wait to get into this episode. Like seriously, we got a lot to cover.
So
So-
let me start off. So
Yeah.
let's just touch there. When you hear that question, what do you automatically think about? Because we want to get any type of misconceptions out the way. Or,
I think about us as a black community. It's not the white man that's hindering us, it's us
Mhm.
within ourselves.
Mhm.
We can't elevate because we got so much hatred and jealousy and envy towards one another.
Right.
And it's really hard to get on top when everyone's trying to get to that spot.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. I mean, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm feeling the same way. I do want to get out the way that this is not going to be one of those, black on black crime
Right.
kind of, bashing to where, that's all we're focusing on.
Correct.
And that's, because there's, obviously we know about institutionalized racism.
Right.
We know that it was built a certain way to where we got here before we started killing each other. We started being
Right.
aggressive towards each other. So, one of the biggest things is that as the main subject here is,
Yeah.
we're aggressive with ourselves. And one of the biggest things that happened this week, one of the topics is Kodak Black. Obviously, he made the poor comments
Yeah.
about Lauren London,
Right.
who's recently, lost her king, her man, and basically his streams have dropped 700% since those comments.
Yeah, there has been a lot of people who came forward with, you know, publicly about Kodak Black. You know,
Mm-hmm.
T.I. was very vocal, you know, telling him to fix himself, you know,
Mm-hmm.
quickly, expeditiously is the
Right.
word he
That's the
used.
use,
Yeah,
yeah.
expeditiously. Like when T.I.'s using big words,
Lean
he's
on me.
upset.
He was,
Right, right. Mr. Clark. Yeah, and you know the game, and you know there's been a lot of people coming out against Kodak, and I think I asked you this, but are they coming out because of their his disrespect for Lauren, or are they tying in Lauren with Nipsey?
See,
You
and
know?
that's I would definitely say that it was more of taking up for Nipsey.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
not for Lauren.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
okay, these
and
guys.
reason being, I
Okay,
mean, you know, granted, obviously they're looking for, you know, to take up for this black woman, you know, in the sense that, you know, she was obviously disrespected
right.
at that time. But let's be honest, you know, the comments that Kodak made, one, he's young, he's 21 years old. You know, I get it, I get it. I'm not giving him a
Yeah, I'm
pass.
not gonna excuse bad
I'm not
behavior.
giving him a pass,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that what he said is no different than something that you may hear at a barbershop, you know,
Okay.
which is
Which
you
is
know
yeah,
poor taste,
that's
but
very true.
as a celebrity, you know, you're held to a little bit higher standard. One, you're in the public eye,
Right.
so we gotta treat our queens better. So, like you said last week, right message, wrong messengers. Reason I say that they
Yes.
took up more so for Nipsey as opposed to taking up for Lauren is because of the messengers.
Right.
You know, being that
My sister said, "Okay, Rich, I like the king comment." All right.
being that you know, one, they pause.
Mhm.
Poor connection.
There you
Okay,
are. You're
make
back.
sure. Okay.
Yeah, we're not talking about Dr. Sebi.
Swear they did it again. I was like last week they cut me
Yes.
off. Yo,
Right.
y'all. I hope y'all tune into the YouTube because they cut me
Yeah.
off last
They be.
week.
Yeah. They be.
I started getting too real and
Yeah.
had to get them up out of there. But
Right.
but back on subject, you know, like you said, right message, wrong messengers. Reason being is because, and not saying you know Kim is not a black woman,
Right.
but you know, very recently he talked about a black man's wife,
Right.
which is Kim.
Right.
Like,
Which was
get the
right.
game, you know.
Right. And when we're saying Kim, you gotta clarify because you got little Kim.
Yeah, you got Kim Kardashian,
Yes.
Miss
Kim
Miss
Kardashian.
Kardashian
Yes.
West.
Yes.
So let's you know put it all the way there. So
Yeah.
Ye's wife, he basically talked about
Him
her,
having sex with
her
her.
yeah, having a little bit more than that. It got a little
Yeah.
graphic,
Yeah.
you know, choking on, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, he
So-
got very disrespectful. So with that being said, I feel like you know what he said was more so taking up for Nipsey as opposed to really looking out for Lauren's best interest.
Correct.
Because we don't do a good job of that in hip hop.
No, we don't, and I feel like the hip hop, well, I should say artists,
Yeah.
black artists, they
Mhm.
don't take up for women.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of lyrics like we're talking about Kodak Black. What about what he said about Young M.A., who clearly doesn't like men? I don't know, I don't want to call her a lesbian. I want to get the term
Yeah.
correctly. I know she doesn't like penis. I'm
Right.
strictly dickly. She's not.
She's not.
So I know that. So he was basically, I mean, I want to say rape, but you know the girl doesn't like men, so you're shooting your shot and you're saying you'll do these things to her.
Them Florida boys are something else. Though.
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
hold you.
my goodness, I don't know what
Florida
it is.
boys is something else.
Yes, I mean,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So he's been doing a lot of talking lately.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let
Yeah,
you get back to
he's definitely been putting his foot in his mouth, you know, a few
Right.
times, but
and that's why a few radio stations in
Yeah.
LA are banning his music. I know Big Boy,
mhm.
Power 106. Those are just a couple that supports Nipsey and Lauren. And you're younger than me. We have a 10-year age difference. I'm 37, so I don't know Kodak
Don't look
Black.
it right. She's beautiful.
Well, good wigs. But yeah, I don't really hear too much of his music. So you had to
Mhm.
enlighten me, because I just know
mean-
that one song you told me. It's that Z shit. It's
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his hit right now. I mean, granted,
yeah.
especially in the younger community. I
Right.
mean, Kodak was definitely doing his thing for a
Okay.
while. I mean, granted, he's meshed in with that mumble rap movement.
Okay.
But personally, I feel like he's a little bit better than a few of them. He got some hits that I like, Tunnel
Okay.
Vision, Lockjaw. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? A couple of tracks like that I did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But big difference is,
Right.
I mean, he actually was saying a lot of very conscious things too. He talked about, Hebrew Israelites. He talked
Yeah.
about all kinds of different things that you don't normally hear in hip hop. Or some things that you would hear, like artists like Kendrick Lamar say.
Yeah.
So
I just thought he was slow.
Yeah,
Like the way he
yeah.
talks.
I mean, he plays on being the project baby. So I mean, you know,
Yeah, and he looks
his
like
whole.
it too. Oh, he does. I mean, he looks wild. I mean, I saw a picture of him with the Florida Gators,
Oh,
and that tiny ass.
with the
I'm
shirt
like,
tucked
he
in.
looked like a special ed, like a
He
Make a Wish
did.
kid. Did he not?
He did look a
So
little like like
so
a
it's like
make a
when
wish.
I hear him talk and he speak and he does his little Instagram lives, you know, the Shade Room and
Hmm.
other people share it. He just sounds like he is slow, like he's you know, he's not intelligent.
Oh yeah, you
And you
remember the
told me he's
Breakfast
smart.
Club
Oh yeah.
interview when he came
Yeah,
on
with
with
the
the ski
mag.
mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
something else.
I don't know if this is a gimmick because remember,
Facts.
designer.
Hmm.
You know, designer is smart, but if you
Yeah.
listen to him,
Oh yeah,
you know, he's
He
doing all
does.
this.
He does. Yeah, he's a very intelligent man, but
Yeah,
he
but
does all of that extra stuff. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Just talking to be talking. You know, just making all the noise. I mean, you ever seen
Yeah.
that meme? You saw that?
Yeah,
I showed the
with
difference
Fabulous.
between yeah, the
I mean,
difference between '90s. Hey, there's a difference. For all you '90s baby,
Fabulous.
y'all know. You know what I'm
Fabulous was
saying?
confused. He was
90 through
like,
94 and
yeah.
95 through 99. It's a different. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if you ain't make the cut, but whoa.
Yeah, that is very true. So
Right.
yeah, so I had no knowledge of Kodak Black. So when they were like saying we're going to ban his music, who was playing his music? Were they playing it out here in Arizona? Because I don't really know. Sirius XM.
I mean, he was getting played across. I mean,
Okay.
granted, I mean, you know, as far as in Arizona, you obviously with our radio stations, we hear a little bit more pop
Right.
than we do, you know, strictly hip hop. And you know, when you go back east, you know what I'm saying, you go to probably California, you go
Okay.
down south, you're gonna hear a lot more of us on the
Okay.
radio. So there's gonna be a lot more Kodak
Okay.
getting played.
Wow.
Tracks that's not this bigger than or you know further out in his discography than
Okay.
Z shit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah,
So
because that's all I really know. So you had to enlighten me, brother,
Yeah,
because
no.
I had no. I'm like Kodak Black. I'm like, damn, Kodak the camera and Black. So I'm thinking you put those two together. So I had no idea. But yeah,
But
you know,
mainly we bring that up because
Yeah.
of the reprimanding that he's actually receiving. So
okay.
the kind of energy that's being spent on Kodak Black, you know, because of his poor comments. As we said, we're not excusing him.
Right.
We're not you know making excuses for what he said. But at the end of the day, he made his comments. If you wanted to teach the young man, it was one of those things where you could have picked up the phone. It's not like these cats don't talk to each other. But one of the things is you had to reprimand him in public. You had to get on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
You had to make a whole video about
Yeah.
you know about this kid.
I mean,
You know
T.I.
what he said.
he just made a diss song, if I'm not mistaken,
Did he
about
really?
Yeah, he did. He previewed
know
on
that.
Instagram a diss song towards Kodak Black. But wait, T.I. is also the same artist who made a diss song about Floyd Mayweather with the Gucci.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
So
yeah.
T.I.
I mean-
I really don't know what T.I.
But then at the same time,
you
he
know?
made the track together with Kanye after his whole slavery was a choice
Yeah.
speech. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so
They actually
yeah.
made a song together after that.
Yeah, so I really don't know when it comes to those artists,
Mhm.
the Game and Ti, because they're going big for Nipsey. You know,
They're going hard for
They
Nipsey,
went
but
to the Marathon store and bought a lot of merchandise.
Yep, mhm.
The Game, he recently got a tattoo of Nipsey on his chest, I believe.
He did.
And he
did.
also, his Lamborghini, he has a picture of him. So we don't know the relationship.
I mean, I'm sure.
You
I
know,
mean, they're both California
right.
artists. You know what I'm
But,
saying?
you
I'm
know-
sure that they was very close.
Yeah.
I get that. Like I said, if you're really, I mean, this guy is old enough to be Kodak's pops. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He's 39 years old.
Yeah.
Kodak is,
33.
21.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nipsey.
No,
Oh,
well,
okay.
Nipsey was 33.
Yeah,
I'm
Nipsey's
talking about the
33,
game.
yeah. Oh,
The game
yeah,
was
I see what you're
39
saying.
years
Yeah, I
old.
see what you're saying.
Kodak is 21.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's old enough to be, a
Yeah.
young father, but
Right.
he could be a father to him.
Right.
If in anything, a big brother in the game,
Right. Yeah.
So pick up the phone, make a call.
Yeah.
But the issue is now is our cancel culture. So, I mean, how quickly everybody started to bash him
Yeah.
to the point that man's sales down at 700%. I just don't see the same type of energy when we on these other places, on these other corporations.
Yeah.
As far as Gucci, granted, there was a lot of people that cut that off for. A lot of us can't afford it on
Yeah, I
a
was
regular
gonna say
basis.
that. The fake
You know.
Gucci doesn't count.
Yeah, fake Gucci don't
Yeah,
count. You
fake
know what I'm
Gucci doesn't
saying?
count.
You can go ahead and keep supporting your
Right.
local sales
Right,
at that
right,
point.
little
Keep money in
flea
their
markets.
pocket.
Right, correct.
But at the end of the day, bigger artists, they're still going to be buying Gucci.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I mean, that whole ban was really for people who could afford it. I mean, so
Right.
Gucci's probably thinking, well, it's not going to affect our pockets. It's
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yeah, right.
How many
And they
lyrics did
still
we
sell
hear
it.
about Gucci?
Gucci.
Gucci, Gucci, Prada. Like Soulja Boy had that worn out
Louis
Gucci
Vuitton,
headband.
like
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that was that.
she
That thing
real
was
plain. I was
worn
like, come
out.
on, bro.
Like that looks
like
like it's
it's
been
you
recycled.
trying too hard. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to do all of that. We can
Right.
be sure we can go
So.
back to wearing FUBU while you
Oh,
bullshit.
right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like
So I
right now I'm
mean,
sporting.
Gucci
You
is
know.
the culture. What you sporting?
This is
That's
sweet.
not food.
This no.
I was about to say.
This is one of my groups, Sweet Mimosa Fridays, brought to you by the Brunchish crew, going
Okay.
down at Varsity Tavern on Mill
Okay.
this weekend.
All
so
right. Okay,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. That
You
was
know,
smooth.
got
Yeah.
got to throw a plug
Yeah,
in
you
for
sure
my people.
did. Yeah, you did
You
electric
know,
slide with
yeah,
that.
you
Okay, I
got you
like
have
that.
to
That
you
was
have
real
to
smooth.
you know support
Real
us,
smooth. Yes.
but like you said, we're spending we boost up all of these designer
Yeah.
brands. H&M, we didn't have that energy with them. Starbucks, we didn't have that energy with them.
Yeah, and can you kind of speak on those situations in case no one knows what you're talking about?
For H&M, they
Yeah.
had the advertisement with the child on it that
Oh,
I'm
cool.
I'm the cool monkey.
Yeah, cool monkey
Yeah,
in the
cool monkey in the jungle. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they had that.
But the mother, you remember the mother said she allowed
She
for
allowed
them to
it.
do it. They paid her.
They paid her.
So they did come for the mother, and this was it wasn't in the United States. It was
It was in
I don't
it was the UK.
UK.
It was definitely overseas.
Yes,
It was
overseas.
definitely
And the
overseas.
mother said, well, why is it such a outcry when I allowed my son to wear this? So
Well,
I'm like, for a check,
to be honest, I was like, then you kind of.
ugh.
I was like, you kind of to blame for real.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take the blame, but I
they,
mean, you are to blame
quit.
for
I
it.
think they quit selling it in the United States. I'm not sure if they quit selling it
Oh,
in
that
the UK.
yeah, that actual product.
Yeah, the
they
actual
did.
shirt. I mean, I know they took it down,
got cut
but
down
okay.
real fast.
And then what about the
Starbucks.
Starbucks? Okay,
Starbucks.
yes.
The two gentlemen that were in DC, if I will like.
I don't know if it's Philly or DC.
Philly or DC.
Yeah.
But they were actually sitting in there waiting. They were real estate agents. They were
Mhm.
waiting for their client to come in. They hadn't bought anything, but had the cops called on them,
Right.
and they were removed from the facility.
Yeah.
Just for being there, and we kind of didn't keep that same energy with those companies. We're still buying Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And there was a boycott. We weren't supposed to go to Starbucks, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I went the next day.
Did you really?
Yeah, no, I really did. Yeah,
I mean, to be
yeah.
honest with you, at the
I
same
really
time,
did,
I
you
mean,
know?
for my business, I buy a lot of
Yeah.
Starbucks, a lot of. I really do love the strawberry refresher. I mean, that's
Right,
terrible.
right.
Don't
That's what I'm
judge me.
saying. Right.
Don't
No
judge me.
strawberries because I don't want to get pregnant.
What?
Yeah, that's just my theory.
What theory?
Ladies,
What?
gentlemen, if you don't want to get pregnant or you don't want to get your girl pregnant, don't have her have any type of strawberries.
I
No
haven't heard
strawberry
that one.
lip gloss. Those seeds are potent, baby.
I would eat your pineapple. I mean,
Okay, yes.
Sweet.
Support the
be-
pineapple,
be-
but not the
be
strawberries.
sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But-
strawberries are dangerous.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's just my theory. I avoid. You know how I get my refresher? No strawberries.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did tell me
Yeah,
that.
that's the reason why.
that's very true,
Yeah,
but-
that's why.
But pretty much, we're touched on this subject because of the cancel culture,
Yeah.
and how aggressive we are with each other. Another example of that would be Oprah, with
Oh yeah.
yeah, as far as
Yeah.
with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
She was one of the only ones to have actually been allowed to interview with him while Michael was alive. He brought him in, and Michael Jackson was a very private person. The
Yes.
entire Jackson family was very
Right.
private people. But Oprah was one of those, obviously she's a mogul. She's one of our biggest, heroes in
Yeah.
the game. But she kind of,
She is.
for me, she let us down.
Yeah.
As
Why?
far as why for me,
Yeah.
because of resurfacing this, not only because of the errors in the case there, who as recently there's been discrepancies whether or not the video was taken down, but there actually was discrepancies in one of the
Yeah.
accuser's stories where he actually was talking about a timeline where Neverland hadn't even
Right.
existed
Hasn't-
at the
yeah.
time. So the fact that how hard she went at setting up a platform for that is, I feel like was an issue, and we have a little bit of soundbite
Yeah, we
here.
do have a
Give you a little
soundbite,
bit of insight.
and so we're going to do it from my phone. So I want to apologize if the audio is not clear for you guys to hear. But basically, this was taken. Oprah was on the Trevor Noah show. I know you guys watch it.
Shout out to
And
Trevor
he's
Noah.
he's
Tone it
asking her
down.
about the documentary, and I'm just gonna play for you what she said. A little clip.
Do you ever waver in your beliefs when the documentary director came out and said there was a timeline issue?
I've had girls at my school who were sexually assaulted and abused, and I have never won a case. When you put a girl on the witness stand and she can't remember was it Thursday or Wednesday, it's automatically
All right, so if you guys didn't hear the soundbite, Trevor Noah was asking her, does, did she take down the videos? Well, just to let you guys know, the documentary is not taken down, and the documentary I'm talking about is Leaving Neverland.
Mm-hmm.
It's still on HBO on the go. It's on HBO's platform. Basically, you can still see it. And Oprah's reasoning for bringing those guys on there is that she has a school for girls, and they were raped. Some of those girls were raped. So she wanted to bring a platform to expose, basically, sexual molestation. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Oprah was raped when she was growing up. I think she did
that
have
is a part of her story.
Yeah, that is part of her story, that she grew up in. She was molested as a child, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So she's given a platform for victims, and she really believed these guys, which was Wade Robinson and James, and I forgot his last name. We can probably Google that.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of controversy about that, and we're going to talk about it. Is because what the topic is of us being against each other is that Oprah campaigned so hard for these accusers, saying Michael Jackson molested him or molested them, but she didn't have the same energy for Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein, is that his name? Weinstein,
Yeah.
whatever his name is,
That cat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was a lot of controversy with that, because there were people on the internet that said, well, hey, you took pictures with him.
Yeah, she has pictures with
Yeah.
them kissing. They look real.
Yeah, they
friendly.
look like,
They look real buddy.
Seriously, like Stedman, a light-skinned Stedman, like his role in her
That's
life.
exactly
Yeah.
what he looked like.
Well, not light-skinned, but white. White Stedman,
right.
yeah.
So while Michael Jackson is filling the timeline, the news, while R. Kelly is filling the news,
Right.
while we just got finished killing Bill Cosby in the news, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these people, especially how big those grow,
Right.
how quickly those memes, and I'm not gonna lie, they're hilarious.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
I mean, the internet is undefeated.
It is.
Oh my God,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
quick.
Yeah,
It's
quick.
quick.
I know. It
I'm
was
like,
so
oh,
many.
man.
R. Kelly had tons, and I was just sharing
Shoot,
them.
I mean, even Cardi had. I mean, quickly
Oh,
they started doing the LeBron and Wade with the pill.
I
Oh
remember that.
man,
And
don't
then-
get
Oh man,
Fast.
and then they had her on the cover of NyQuil. But
Oh,
it
did
said-
they? I didn't see that one.
They had Cardi out there looking wild, but that was a setup.
But yeah,
That was a setup, she's that
she's
girl.
thriving on that, and that's
Yes,
a whole
she
other
is.
subject,
Right.
by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, the differences between those two and
Right.
how those were actually covered, we're gonna touch on that too. Don't forget. But basically, it was us that built up that story, that made the Lifetime. They set record highs.
Yes.
They set network records for that for the R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, if you guys knew about the controversy, remember there was an alleged Facebook page exposing lies, I believe.
Yeah.
R. Kelly's team made it, got shut down. But what he's saying is that a lot of those women were lying.
I believe it.
And I'm not saying they are, because we don't know the victims. The only thing I can say is this, is for me, I'm 37, so if I came out and said R. Kelly had me in the basement tied up, and I'm 35 years old, like I said 2 years ago, where's the sympathy at? Because you're fully grown.
Grown woman, come on.
And then, my only issue with that is we know how R. Kelly is. There's been
He's been
this way for many
years.
years.
This is old news, and my issue with us is we're so wired to be angry when they tell us to be angry.
Yeah.
Like boom, network special, be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like okay, now get angry.
Yeah, because there was there was
happens.
no movement for him. I mean, to me, like I guess this is the part where I never understood. If you guys watched the documentary with R. Kelly, John Legend was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a few artists who boycott R. Kelly. Lady Gaga was one. Now, let's be very clear. Lady Gaga did a song with R. Kelly.
Sure did.
But I think people forgot that before she did the song and before these artists decided to work with R. Kelly that came out and said, I'm not working with him, he still had that Aaliyah situation. He still had cases that we heard about, the tape, all that. And they still decided to work with R. Kelly. And he's wrote songs for artists. Now everyone wants to boycott, like, let's take my albums off the internet and, my singles. But you guys knew, because he had these cases just allegedly just lingering around.
To be honest, it sometimes feels like an experiment to see, what can we get away with.
Yeah.
What's going to trigger them? You know what I'm saying? Obviously they throw out Bill Cosby. Okay. they're willing to take down, you know, and again, I'm not discrediting, I'm not saying
Right.
whether or not it was true. I have my personal beliefs on it.
Right.
You know, I feel like that 60 women over, how long was the year? 30
Man,
years?
it's
30
some of those women, yeah, and
Yeah,
whew,
come on, that's, I mean, like,
that's
I mean,
a lot. And I'm
that's a
not
lot.
saying Bill did it, but you got to think about, and I'm not excusing his
Right.
behavior,
Mhm.
but around that time, let's think about the Playboy Mansion. You know, Hugh Hefner, we don't go on Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner
No.
to me was a pimp.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, may he rest in peace, but he was. He
Yes.
had women, young women that were many, many years. I mean, they're talking about decades. He was older than them.
Right.
You know, they had a curfew. They had a schedule. You know, they had to stay in that house. I mean, they wrote books about this. But
Yep.
during that time where Bill Cosby was raping women, he was a good friend of Hugh Hefner's at the Playboy Mansion.
Mhm.
And
He
y'all
was in the
forget,
club.
right?
He was in the club.
Quaaludes was popular back then. If you were a celebrity and you had a career, you was at the Playboy Mansion. It's been
Period.
documented.
Period.
You know, well, not Frank Sinatra, but there's a lot of celebrities. I know Bill Cosby was one.
Everybody
A lot
named
of
Mama-
football
everybody
players,
named Mama was
stars.
at-
You know,
was at the-
cocaine was being. I mean, the
I
grotto.
mean, if
like,
you ever seen the
please.
movie Wolf on Wall Street,
Oh,
you
yes.
ever seen Wolf on Wall
Yes.
Street? They tell you, he would tell
Yeah.
you in the movie. Quaaludes, you know, they don't get them as much anymore, but
Right.
they was popping them Jones
They
like
were.
Skittles.
Yeah, they
You know
were.
what I'm saying? And
And
you
so
know, and anybody will tell you, even my grandmother. I mean, you know, or just folks in that time that lived through the 70s,
Right.
you know, in the 80s and whatnot. That was, you know, Rick James, cocaine was a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I'm
it's
saying,
true.
folks?
That's what they were doing.
They was-
Studio
it was-
54.
They was getting down.
They was partying,
Was-
so I believe a lot of women were getting raped, especially at the
Exactly.
Playboy Mansion. I mean, women walking around half naked. Y'all saw the costumes. Guys were walking around like I knew Hugh Hefner would walk around in a robe.
hmm
People, I mean, it was kind of like a swingers party.
It
You
was.
were having
It's
sex with
exactly what it
everyone.
was.
I mean, it was a culture of drugs, alcohol, and
Mhm.
sex. So with those combination, there are going to be women and men probably having sex with someone that's unconscious.
And I see,
Hey.
but shoot, even
Yeah.
then, you know, as far as they say that they're unconscious, I say maybe they was high. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, that
but,
too,
But
right.
but I mean, I'm just not gonna give 60 women.
Yeah,
Like it was you
I
know,
don't know.
however many women it was. It
Yeah.
was all of them like, and they all got the same story. Like for me, and again, this is another conspiracy.
yeah.
But you know, there's rumors that at the time Bill Cosby was getting ready to purchase at least a large portion of NBC. Not going to
Oh,
say
wow.
exactly how true
Yeah.
those rumors are,
Yeah.
but you know, when those rumors came out, that was when the rape allegations came out.
Yeah.
That's when he stopped being America's dad.
Right.
You know, and you lived through that time. You got to watch. You watched Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I grew up
and
on
everything.
the Cosby Show. I thought it was a unrealistic family because
Yeah.
I didn't know of any black family whose father was a doctor and mother was a lawyer, lived in a big house. I didn't know growing up.
But that was what made the show so
Right.
special, that we weren't being shown, you know,
A negative.
I love
Yeah.
Good Times. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like we,
yes.
like, you know what I mean? That
wait,
was,
wait,
that was,
that's before us, baby.
yeah, oh yeah, that's what,
Yeah, I
but
love.
we took,
Thank
you know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
Good Times.
They, you know,
Yes.
moms put on what's
Yes.
happening. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
oh,
oh yeah, yeah. You know what I'm
what's
saying? They don't,
happening?
you know what I mean? They kids don't know about
What's
all
happening?
that. Yeah,
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying? They don't know about rerun. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, right.
they'll-
What's happening,
but-
man?
but-
That is a classic.
But those were
Fat
more
Albert?
of the Fat Albert, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So right up our alley
Okay.
of what
yeah.
you know what was real.
Yeah.
But what the Cosby Show did was put up a positive image of us,
Right.
of what we're seeing now.
Right.
You're gonna see a lot that you can see that now. You can find that. I mean, the show Blackish, they do a great job at it. And we're
I
gonna,
think. What about Fresh Prince?
Fresh Prince did a great job
Yeah,
at it.
the
even
only thing
before
I didn't
that.
like about Fresh Prince is that Aunt Viv, she went from dark
Oh
to
yeah,
light.
to like. Yeah,
We'll talk
remember,
about
hey,
that.
hey,
yeah.
remember the episode?
Yeah, like,
I remember
remember
the
that,
first
yeah.
episode that she started. He was like, Will walked by. He was like, "Oh, Bill, you look different."
Right.
And I know that probably wasn't scheduled or nothing because she just sat there and laughed.
Yeah, but
But,
yeah, they did, and she was
We're gonna talk about that.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about that.
Aha.
But
Message.
you know, just how quick. But how quickly, you know, we're able to turn on our own is just, I mean, it's wild. I mean, like I said, and you know, it's so they sensationalize it so much
Oh yeah.
that it's so believable.
Yes.
You know, and all, like the internet takes over, the social media starts going. You got posts and everything now.
Yes.
Everybody's just, oh, it's got to be true.
I
It's gotta
mean,
be true.
even when it comes to violence, you know, like there was a video on the internet. I don't know if you saw it. There was
Yeah.
like two guys fighting. I don't know if they're in Philly.
Oh, that was
but-
Philly.
That was Philly.
for sure
Okay, there was
Philly.
two young boys
Mhm.
fighting, and you know their
Shout out to
peers,
Philly.
right? Their peers
Chester,
were
PA. Y'all
kind of
got it.
egging them on, like fight, like anybody would. And this guy came and he broke them up and he said like, what are y'all fighting for? These are not your friends.
Right.
They're telling you to fight.
Right.
Like they're not going to be friends with you. Like they're being foolish.
Smiling, everybody in the background. Everybody's laughing.
Right. Yeah.
Look
He
at him, they
was
laughing.
actually brought on to, I forgot what show, but he was praised for what he did. Because we live in an age where, and I see this all the time, you know, someone breaks into a fight.
Mhm.
The first thing we do is pull out our phones. We're going to record it and send it to where?
We're gonna send it to social media. We're gonna send it to our group chat.
Right, World Star.
World Star. Oh yeah, World Star.
World
yeah.
Star. Like
I
World
mean, right
Star.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Like we
Childish
don't.
Gambino. You better hold that sideways. Scorsese. You know what I'm saying? He made a song called World Star.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of that in our community, and I even tell people like you can't be someone who wants change, but you're sharing those type of videos. Like I don't share.
I don't.
I really don't want to see no one getting their ass whooped or someone getting
just getting their head beaten. And cats is just standing there, just ooh,
right.
ooh,
Especially
like,
with females.
bro,
like females just like dirty. Like
that's not for me. That's worse. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's damn disgusting because it don't be nothing but brothers around.
Right.
And you know, like I hold.
And sometimes those guys are hitting on women too.
Yeah, I mean.
Ooh. I've seen videos too.
Yeah,
and it frustrates me because I mean. It's like you're bigging us up to fight each other, but if it's another race doing that, we want to.
And I just want to know if this ever gets to reach all of any of them cats that was in those videos, y'all some hoes. That's real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly. I mean, when we see each other fighting one another like that, it just proves what other races think about us.
Facts.
You know, barbaric coons and all these stereotypes.
I mean, what makes it worse is you'll see them. You know that pisses me off because you know in the caption obviously it says niggas. You know, wilding or something, and I see my white, old classmates just reposting it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Laughing, giggling and stuff.
Yeah, and that's what they think of us, right?
Look at you. You know what I'm saying?
So it doesn't put us in a very positive light, but
at all.
You know, but just look what kind of like world we live in. I mean, fighting to me, I mean, let's just think about it. Those videos get how many views? Millions.
Oh yeah, millions.
Millions of views, but doing something positive.
We're a barbaric nation.
Yeah.
I mean, like granted we're built on barbarism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the inception of this country.
Right.
Was the slaughter of black and brown people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That when they got here, they destroying the black and brown natives that was here already. That's how this country was built. So I mean, that kind of culture, and even we'll take as movie buffs.
Yes.
We'll take Django. The scene where Leo was sitting at the fireplace. And they were watching the two slaves, and they was going at it, fighting to the death. Yeah. And then, what I'm saying, they fighting to the death.
Yeah.
Just to, and they was like, he had to go ahead and finish him. He was like, go ahead and finish him. What's saying?
Wow.
He killed him.
That's Mortal Kombat.
Somebody that you
finish him?
Yeah, it was like that.
The Mortal Kombat.
Somebody that you sitting in the fields with every day, working. You had to go and fight for your life. His reward was a beer and some pussy.
Wow, I mean, movie reference. I think of not Boys in the Hood. I'm sorry, Menace to Society.
Yeah.
When Kane was robbing old boy, he was at the drive-thru ordering a burger, and remember he went in and he was like, "Oh, you think you're a baller?" He's taking his watch.
Baller, huh?
Your pager.
You a baller?
He's like, "Man, we supposed to be brothers."
You a baller?
Yeah, we're gonna stick together. You robbing me.
Right.
You robbing me. He's like, "Don't keep that science to me. Give me your watch."
Right. Exactly.
and go. Look, he's like, "Order me a double cheeseburger."
Right. In order to be a double.
Right. He's like,
classic.
I'm sorry, y'all.
But we laugh at it. But I mean, it's the truth. It's how aggressive we are with each other. I mean, even you go down to even our riots. Like even take the riots, the LA riots, and anytime the Watts riots. We're so trained to, what I'm saying. They did such a great job at teaching us to hate ourselves that we know not to expand into another community. You don't see that happening. We don't get mad and then let's go tear up Beverly Hills after these cops.
We tear up our own community.
We tear up our own stuff.
which is wild to me.
Wow.
Like wow, because they catch us on. You're talking about the riots. I remember the OJ. Not OJ verdict. I'm sorry. No, Rodney King.
Rodney King. Yeah, that's what I brought up. Yeah,
the Rodney King. I just remember our. We were robbing from our own community.
Shoot, even take that in Baltimore. The most recent one.
Oh yeah, with the guy that got shot.
Mm-hmm.
That died.
Of course, it was always the guy that got shot.
Yeah.
But I was actually there between the riots. There was the first day they threw the trash can through the through some glass and everything.
Okay.
It was small skirmishes.
Yeah.
And then I actually went that Sunday. I actually shot a report for my senior project.
Wow. Wow, let's
Yeah, I
see.
was actually down there for that. So, but the very next day, and I think the Most High was looking out because you didn't, nobody need to be there,
Yeah.
during that time. Like
Right.
my man KJ said, yo, they would have robbed you. Like, that's
Right.
real. They, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because like, like that's what the show about. We
Right.
aggressive with ourselves, but like my man, he from Baltimore. He said, yo, listen, they would have robbed you on that day. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? Because they didn't care about nothing,
Right.
and they started tearing up their community that Monday. Um,
So I have to ask a question. We're speaking of violence. So I've noticed in the, and again, I can't stress this. We're not condemning because we're African American
mhm,
ourselves. What we're doing is bringing up issues within our community,
right,
and we're having a discussion about how we can fix these things.
right,
You see what I'm saying? So these are just the opinions of him and I. We
mhm,
don't speak for the whole community. This is just my thought and his thought. So I just want to get that out there before people come for us.
yeah.
But I wonder, when another.
And just to clear that up, that
Mhm.
was Freddie Gray. That
Oh,
was
Freddie Gray,
Gray.
yes. And I
Yeah.
wanted to say that, but like I said, there was a
Yeah,
few
he died
names.
in police custody.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Mhm,
remember that.
mhm.
But I wonder why, if somebody who's not, well, if another race harms us, discriminates us, does something to us, we riot, we protest,
We're marching.
we're
You know what I'm
marching for
saying?
it. But when it's us committing violence against us, when it's a black man, like what happened with Nipsey, there's an outcry because he's a celebrity. But how many people who don't have that fame are getting killed?
Every
There's
day.
a lot of black on black crime.
Somebody said like Nipsey wasn't the only brother that died
Right,
that day.
exactly. But
That's
it
real.
was overshadowed because
Mhm.
he was a celebrity. But there's a lot of violence within us,
Mhm.
and we don't protest. We don't. Ti's not speaking about it. The game is not coming forward. There's
mean-
no march about that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens within our community that we don't speak about until someone disrespects us from a different race or
And
something
then
happens.
and all of a sudden we up in arms and like
Yeah.
I said,
You
I
gotta
am
keep that
very.
same energy.
If y'all know me, man, like a lot of my viewers out here that know me, and I need to clear it up for those who don't. But I'm very huge on understanding how we got to this point.
Yeah.
It was like I said, all the way back to the plantation when you had to fight for survival.
Yeah.
You had to fight a slave just to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're taught to hate each other. From a very young age. Epigenetics. If you know
Yeah.
about anything about epigenetics, it actually continues down the cycle through our DNA. It's actually passed down. Trauma is passed down. So
Okay.
we got here through those ties to our forefathers. But at the same time, we go to the club. You mean mugging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We looking hard at each
yeah,
other. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it's like and Boondocks. Shout out to Boondocks, man. They really need to bring that back. But I mean, they used to call it a nigga moment.
Yeah.
What they would do is, you know what I'm saying, something so quick. It was like you bump into somebody on the street,
Yeah.
and they and
Yeah.
then they guns is pointing,
Right,
blah blah
that
blah.
happens all the time because
All the
it's
time.
it's a matter of like someone stepping on your shoes by accident.
Right,
Let alone be some white Air Forces
right.
or
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
oh
ain't
you
gonna
creased
hold you.
them.
I'm
Yeah,
tight for
people
real.
people
You know
have
what I'm saying?
died over that just for
Facts.
accidentally
Facts.
stepping on someone's shoes. I mean,
It's
just
it's quickly, but
Yeah.
then they showed also Boondocks went over to the next point where he bumped into a white man, and then he turned around. He was like, "Yo," he pulled the gun. He was like, and then the white dude was like, "Wait a minute, I'm white. I don't need to do this." And it's jokes because old boy
Yeah.
behind him was like,
Yeah.
this is a perfectly good point to throw our lives away,
Right.
But they did. Boondocks was one of them shows, man. If y'all ain't watched Boondocks, watch
Yeah.
both 2 seasons of original. Oh man, it was so message, all of that.
I
But-
haven't really peeped the boom. I mean, I know about Uncle
It's like
Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus, yeah.
I know, like, because Charlemagne had him on the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
A mock interview.
Oh yeah, no, that was who does
right.
the
It
voice?
was so
Oh,
funny.
hilarious.
Oh, that was so
hilarious.
funny. He was talking about Donald Trump,
Mhm.
and I was in the gym cracking up.
But
So yeah,
we're just saying that we're so aggressive towards each other.
Yeah.
Like I'm not advocating violence against anyone, but we killing ourselves and everything, but Zimmerman's still walking around. What?
I mean, let's kind of take it back because I remember, and this is not our era. This is
Mhm.
more of our parents' era.
Mhm.
But there was 2 people who in the '60s spoke for African Americans. It was Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Right.
Now, Malcolm X, he was, well, let me just rephrase this. Martin Luther King was more nonviolence.
Mhm.
What the Bible says: if someone hits you, turn the other cheek. We're going to protest. We're going to boycott. We're going to march. Malcolm X said, no, no, no.
There's different parts of
No,
the
no,
Bible.
no. Yeah, we are going to defend ourselves because there's a
Exactly.
picture of Malcolm X looking out the window with a gun.
Because
That's
it was
historic.
on surveillance.
Yeah,
at
but
all
I mean,
times.
he was about violence. About if they hit you,
wait.
hit you
Not,
back.
let's not say that he was about violence.
Well,
he was
Malcolm
about
X was saying if
protecting
you're,
ourselves.
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said they hit you, hit them back.
Protecting
So
himself.
we're okay
I
protecting
call that
ourselves,
self-defense.
okay.
I don't call that violence. And honestly, at that point, we were more of, he was addressing more. Both of them was talking about unity, but
Right.
Martin's aspect was more so let's integrate, whereas Malcolm wasn't not so much divisiveness. He wasn't teaching divisiveness. And shout out to my girl Sid for this, for this clarification, but not divisiveness, but actually, separation. And when I say that, I mean sticking to ourselves and our community, so that our black dollars can, before segregation, before integration,
Mm-hmm.
we, when we were segregated, granted, it wasn't great, as far as, the separate but equal was far less, as strong as the white, communities were and everything, but we were more closer as a community. Black marriages was at a higher rate. We had black doctors, black dentists. This was all during, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All of that, to where there was so much wealth within our community because we had no choice but to deal with ourselves. So
Okay.
it wouldn't have. So if we could have stayed on that route and built up, and then included everybody else can come. Now you can come buy from us, and our, we can borrow, we can give to you, but they didn't allow that.
So with those two, we're
Mhm.
talking about a person who believed in Islam, which was Malcolm X,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
you have Martin Luther King, who preached the Bible.
Mhm.
I mean, if you look at clips of both of them, the message were pretty much the same, which is, protecting ourselves as African Americans. It's just the way that they did it. Martin Luther King was really about nonviolence. I mean,
Yeah.
and you got to think about it. His approach, it did work, because I remember they boycotted the bus system.
Yeah, it did. It got.
And I
it
think
definitely
over
hit the
a year,
pockets.
it hit the pockets,
Mhm.
and that's another conversation,
Yeah, that's
because,
yeah.
Malcolm X, how they killed him, and Martin Luther King, we could talk about that. But what I'm saying is that during that time, that's who we had representing the black community. And we're not going to talk about the Black Panther Party. I mean,
It's
we
so
could
many
go,
ways.
yeah, so many ways. So yeah, we're not going
it's gonna be a
to,
long season.
yeah. But what
Mhm.
I'm saying is that somehow we left that format, because you got to think about it, during that time we were united, because
Exactly.
we were being oppressed.
Yeah.
So we was
So
like
it-
sticking
So
together.
it kind of had that, and that's something that's a very good point.
Yeah,
we
it's
got
true.
we got to a point to where the tide started to shift. Some
Right.
people started to get money, and we are, as a whole,
Yeah.
the majority of our community stayed at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I mean, we still see that today. I mean, so even our middle class is disappearing to where there's really just the haves and the
And
have-nots.
have-nots.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and I agree. I mean, especially what's going on with the elections and stuff. I
Oh
mean,
man.
yeah, I know that we can go so many ways, but yeah, I don't know how African Americans at one point in time we were sticking together like glue, and now we're so far apart. We are against each other,
So against each other.
and
It's-
we can't even talk about the white man. It's the black man. It's no longer the white man holding us down. It's our own selves. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I would say they did such a great job that they don't even have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not like, they say they can take a step back
Yeah,
because
you know,
the work
whew.
was done so well.
Yeah.
They did an outstanding
I
job.
mean,
I'm not gonna hold you.
just reference the movie, and you guys might say, well, this is not true, but this scene is true. If y'all watch Boys in the Hood,
Mhm.
Furious had Trey and Ricky
Oh, yeah,
outside,
yeah.
and there was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
community that was around, and he said, well, and it was an old man. It was actually Grady. If y'all ever watch Sanford and Son, Grady was outside. He said, well, it's y'all killing each other. And there was a guy that said, well, what you think I'm supposed to do? Let a fool smoke me before I smoke him? And he said, why is there a liquor store on every corner?
Why is there a gun store?
Why
on
is there a
every
gun
corner?
store? They want us to kill
Who's
ourselves.
bringing these guns
Right.
into the community?
That's what he's right. We don't, right. So that's what
Shout
I'm
out to
saying.
Larry
Right.
Fishburne.
But that was a very deep part right there. Or
Mhm.
even with this, if you remember Menace to Society, when Kane went to go see what's the boy's name that was a Muslim?
Sharif. His name was Sharif on the
right.
movie.
And
Yeah.
his dad was
Yeah.
saying, if Islam, or he said if Muhammad can make him a better man,
right.
he said the hunt is on. You as a black man, the hunt is on, and you are the
Facts.
prey.
Facts.
Like, there's certain things in the movies that it just stuck to me. Like in
Mhm.
Black Panther, he said, instead of you killing me, I'd rather,
Yeah, I'd
he
rather
said,
die than
I'd
the
rather
ocean
die.
with my
Like there's
That's sad.
He
Now,
should be-
I got my own.
yeah.
Everybody had gas that line up.
No,
you
but
know,
it's true. He
if
said,
you-
"I'd rather
just
die
yeah.
than be, be bondage."
Yeah, I'd
I wanna be
rather
free.
die.
Yeah.
I'd rather be with my ancestors that dove off the boats
Right.
instead of living a life of bondage. That's I think,
Yes, it was on
close-
the
close
lines of
on
that.
lines.
Yeah, it was lines of that. But what I'm saying is that I watch a lot of movies and there's just certain references that
Mhm.
stand out, but that represents the black community. Well, not
Yeah.
the Black Panther, but the scene from Boys in the Hood and
I
Men's
think
Society.
I think it did. I think that's what his role was. What Michael B. Jordan's role was in Black Panther was he represented the African American people.
Okay.
That was as far as our anger and everything. What we can do, but what like I said, taking that ferocity
Yeah.
as opposed to pointing to ourselves, what he had to do to get it. Obviously
Right.
they made him a bad guy.
Right.
He
Yeah.
was the bad guy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It was a movie. It's still
Right.
still Marvel.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, what his goal was to liberate us,
Right.
pretty much, all across
Right.
the country. So
I agree.
yeah, I mean, just that violence that we take upon ourselves, it just has to stop. I mean, until we start loving each other, we're not going to be able to make any type of progress. And I mean, and they thriving on that. They're profiting on that. I mean, the
Yes.
music we listen to
Yes.
is talking about it's still like drugs, lean. We off of perk. I'm off of Xan. I'm off the L, and I'm drinking Henny. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, how you awake?
Well, that's the culture of the music, And if I can just do a quick advertising,
Yeah.
I told
Let's pay
someone.
some
So
bills.
I mean, so just to let anyone know, if you're in the Phoenix area, you have a small business, you want to promote something, me and Dee will be more than happy to promote you on our podcast for free because we're all trying to come up. And again, this is about helping each other out. We can
Marathon
never.
continues.
Yeah. Yes. I like the insert.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah. So I just want to talk about a young man who's a massage therapist. His name is Bryant. He gave me his whole bio. I'm not gonna read it all, but his name is Bryant Irby. He's a massage therapist. He does massages, and he does many different types of massages. As what he wrote me: deep tissue, cupping, percussion, gun, massage gun. I don't know, deep tissue. I said that. Russian sports. I mean, these sounds like sex to me. I never heard of these positions
Ladies,
before.
if you're in the area.
Yeah,
look
but
my
if you're in the
man
Phoenix area, he is good with that. $60 for 60 minutes, $80 for 90 minutes. He does have a Facebook, Bryant Irby. So Bryant with a T at the end, Irby, IRBY. Phone number 708-308-3057. So we support our local business owners and we support each other.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, we're going to head right into the next topic.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
which is something that
right.
I cannot wait to talk about. So go ahead, brother. I'm putting my woke glasses.
Just
Yes, we're about to find them.
just to touch base. So this is a great segue because a part of our division and aggressiveness with each other, an issue with us is
Yes.
and you can see
Yes.
even myself,
My woke glasses.
they
I am
turning
woke.
on. I hear you.
Yes, I am
Yeah,
woke now,
I
baby.
hear you.
Yes, let me put them on.
So the issue of colorism.
Yes.
So light skin, dark skin.
Yes.
The battle continues.
Yes.
Team Saul versus we got to be hard. You know what I'm saying? The brown paper bag. The house nigga versus the field nigga. I mean,
Yes.
there's so many different ways that they divided us, and I mean, this is one of our biggest issues. And they play on that. Again, it's another thing that they play on
Right.
in the media, but at the end of the day, it's kind of been so played on us now that we're kind of continuing it
Yeah.
ourselves. And I mean, granted, before we even head into this, I will say we have made a slight bit of progress.
We have?
I mean, I think it's because I think dark skinned sisters is coming back. I think the whole as far as black love.
When
and
have
all,
we ever left?
I
That's
didn't
what I
think-
want to know.
that's
Where?
see,
No,
don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
let me just brush
I
her
just
out.
like,
I got that good old that Beyonce wig, okay? Yes, I'm so serious.
Beyonce is one of those other
Yes.
examples. But
It is, but I'm just saying. When did we ever go out
y'all
of
never
fashion?
left. Y'all never left.
Yeah.
Black of the berry,
That's
sweet of the
crazy.
juice.
That Tupac said that. Yes.
Gotta love it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Darker the flesh, the deeper the roots.
There you go.
That's what he said.
Let's go.
So, with that being said, I want to talk about this. I honestly didn't plan on talking about colorism, but something happened recently that it just troubled my spirits. And so I'm going to keep these woke glasses on because I need to enlighten somebody, okay?
Shout out
So-
to my LB. He's over here. You
What's
know what I'm
LB?
saying?
Oh,
My
okay.
Dark
So,
skin never left.
So yeah, dark skin never left. I agree. So like most of the country, Nipsey's memorial service.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, a lot
It
of
was
people
beautiful.
watching.
You know, I watched Nipsey's service, and yeah, there was some parts that I liked, and then there was some parts that kind of ruffled my feathers, had my wig shift because there was a few moments, you know, Snoop Dogg and his, you know, for God so love the world that he gave us a great crib.
I mean, like
That's not the Bible verse,
play with
brother.
the Bible,
Yeah,
baby.
let's not do
Let's
that.
not
It's
play with
just,
the Bible.
let me just clarify that it's John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave us his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That's the Bible verse. Because there might be some people who don't go to church. I don't know. But another thing, Mr. YG, why motherfucking G?
Woo.
Now,
had you
yeah.
upset.
Oh yeah.
It was wild to me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard it. I was like,
Glass
whoa.
is getting kind of steamy
It was
because
whoa.
YG is a friend of Nipsey. So just to give you guys a background, YG is a blood, Nipsey is a crip. They did a song together that I'm aware of. There could have been more. Last time I checked, off of the Victory Lap album. Dope song.
Mm-hmm.
So it's his turn. He goes up there with DJ Mustard.
No smut on my rap.
Right. He goes up there with DJ Mustard, and he is basically sharing with us his feelings about
Nipsey.
yeah, Nipsey. So I'm gonna play you guys the clip. Now, for you guys who can't hear it, I'll say what it is, but I'll play it for the ones that can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'm with Nipsey, we not talking about nothing that don't mean nothing. We always talking about goals, family, homies, plays we trying to make. Like I was having conversations with Nip about. I'm like, look, bro, we got some light skinned, pretty girls we gotta raise. We in trouble, my nigga. What we gonna do?
So for y'all who could not hear it, there was a part where YG was saying, you know, he had many conversations with Nipsey, and that when they talked, they weren't just talking about anything, they talked about some serious things. So in this, he said, you know, like one of the conversations he had was that he was telling Nipsey that, you know, we got pretty light skinned, and it sounded like he was gonna say bitches.
Definitely wasn't gonna say bitches.
But he stopped himself and said daughters that we gotta raise. You know, what are we gonna do, my nigga? Like, we in trouble. Now, what kind of bothered me about that, and some people might think I'm reaching, but that wasn't the time or place. Like, he could have just simply said, we got daughters. Like, how about this?
Right.
We fathers, we got daughters to raise.
Right.
You don't want your daughters to be
Simple.
without fathers.
Simple.
He referenced their skin tone of being light.
Mm-hmm.
And YG has always had lyrics when it came to black women. I mean, I got.
So we got.
I don't got
We got
sound
sound
bites, but what I'm saying is that YG has made songs condemning dark-skinned women. And you know, before I read the lyrics to you guys, you know, let me be very clear. There's a difference between preference and being ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, I prefer men who are circumcised. That's just what I like. I like my man to be cut and not uncut. But if I made a comment that said, I don't date guys who are uncircumcised because they all have bad hygiene, that would be very ignorant of me, because that's not true.
Right.
But that's my preference. I could just leave it at that. So my thing is, you know, when you are saying, you know, if these men like lighter skinned black women, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to condemn someone's skin tone to justify for your preference. That's my only issue. So let me just read some of these things about YG. So YG wrote a song called Grind Mode. Okay? In the song he said, riding real slow with a black ass tint. Niggas can't stand no black ass bitch. That's YG. Another song, YG. The song is called On the Set. I want you, girl. Baby, I want you, girl. Let that young G hit you. Let a young G get with you. Light skin, slim fit, curly hair. Another song, Bad Bitch by YG. He said, now that's a bad bitch, and she remind me of a top model diva. Light skin, skinny bitch, she remind me of Eva. So he prefers lighter skinned women. And again, no shame in that. We all have a preference, we all have a type. But when you degrade certain stereotypes like a skin tone, and the sad part is that if you look at YG's mother, she's my complexion, she's black. He came from a black woman. So my only issue with some of these men,
from a woman,
right, is that you disrespect black women who are look like your sisters, your daughters, your aunts, your cousins, your grandmothers. Like, is that self-hate or is that being a preference? Because to me, it sounds crazy. And he has a daughter and she is light.
Hmm.
But you got some African American men that think if I'm dark, so I don't want to reproduce what I am,
Yeah.
and they'll go and have a baby by a racially ambiguous woman or a
That-
lighter skinned woman, and then what the sad part is that in some cases they come out looking like me.
I mean, granted, we can make any color we want. Like,
Right.
if you like, I mean, we can make all shades. But didn't our Mister Foot in his mouth say something about that as well?
Who?
Mr. Kodak Black.
Yeah, Kodak. Oh, yes, yes, Kodak Black. So I have a soundbite. Thank you for bringing that up, brother. Yeah, Kodak Black. He went on Instagram Live. This has to be a year old, and he was talking about Keke Palmer. And
Who was fine, by the way.
right, Keke Palmer is a very
Fine.
beautiful woman. But yeah, so I'm gonna play this soundbite, and this is Kodak Black kind of just explaining himself about what he likes. So in
I
the
just
yeah
scared
in the
my
clip
soul.
he said he'll bag Keke Palmer, but that's not really his type. And you know what? Kodak Black has also said there was another interview he gave, and he said basically that women who look like him, his skin tone, are gutter. Dark skinned women are gutter, and his exact quote was, "Light skinned women can be easily broken down." Now, when you hear a man say that,
Yeah, it's just
that's the slavery mentality
it's
you gotta
that
think
slave
about.
mentality.
It
of
really
what-
is.
Granted, this whole, light skin versus dark skin is just the whole thing of being closer and closer to white is right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The lighter, the safer they are. Brown
Right.
paper bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. That entire mentality
Yeah.
is all about being closer to our oppressors.
Right.
Because we saw that, on the plantation, like a lot of times this came from Massa being in our
Yeah.
grandmother's slave quarters. And don't get it twisted, you dark skinned folks as well. Like, what's the name? Massa was in all our slave quarters.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they was everywhere. So we all got some type of mix in there, and it's terrible. But our roots. But at the end of the day, that they were treated a little bit better.
Yeah, the
if
house
you was
the house nigga.
the house nigga. Like,
yeah,
he
if
got
you
to
were
put on
like
fine clothes.
like we were slaves, you'd be in the house. I would definitely be in the field
I
right
don't know.
now.
I run my mouth too much. So
Well, I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is that if this was
I've been
slavery,
in the deuces, they would have. I'd have got beat
yeah,
down.
they would have did that. Said, "What's your name, Toby?"
Been out,
Gupta.
who did Martin? What do you say? They cut both my feet off. Or something
Right. Yeah, so I mean, it does go back to the slave mentality, but I guess, I'm so vocal about this because I consider myself a dark skinned girl. I mean, some people say I'm dark, some people say I'm brown skinned, but I've had men tell me, you're cute for a dark skinned girl, or you barely made the cut, or I usually don't talk to girls your skin tone. I can't help my skin tone. I love being black, baby. I love this melanin.
Hey, man, we love it
I
on you.
do. I
We
love
love it on
me.
you.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other choice I have. This is all I know. So it's a lot different. The hurt hits a little different when it comes from your own people.
Oh,
I
yeah.
expect a person who's not black to criticize me,
Mhm.
but when I have a brother who tells me I'm not good enough because of my skin tone, that hurts. Because it's
Yeah.
like, you should. Out of all people, I mean, I think we've seen this. Jussie Smollett. He's
Mhm.
light skinned,
Yeah.
but when he got arrested, they treat him like a nigga.
Like a nigga.
Like a nigga. They
Shoot,
didn't care.
Even the the whole LGBTQ community.
Oh, yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? They a lot of times they try and compare struggles.
Right.
And try and draw that unison.
Yeah.
But he found out very quickly, hold on,
Right,
before
they
he's a
turned
gay
against
man.
him. Correct. He's
you
a
are
black
man first.
Yeah, no matter
you know what
how
I'm
good
saying?
your hair is, the baby hair, the money, you are
Facts.
still a black man. And so that's why I want to kind of hit home with colorism is that when someone, we got a lot of white people doing blackface.
Oh yeah.
We got a lot of white people who are not, I don't want to say white people, but other races criticizing us,
Shout out to
mimicking
Rachel
us.
Dolezal.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. We got a lot of white people, outside races, basically mimicking us. But we protest, we march, we do all these things
And
for
even
injustice.
just a little thing,
Yeah.
tie in there, the whole, IG influencers. I'm not sure quite what her name is. My homegirl Amira told me about her. But it's this girl overseas, and she gets the tan, she
Oh
gets the
yeah,
curly
she looks
hair.
like she's
Oh yeah,
black. She
yeah.
could pass for black. They
They
call
make
it black
very,
fishing,
yeah.
and that's
That's
when
what, yeah.
black fishing, and that's when women who are,
Very ambiguous. They look very
I don't know
ambiguous,
what their
light
shade is.
skin.
I say
Yeah.
white,
They no,
different
she
race.
no, she's straight. She's
Okay,
white.
they get a
Like,
tan,
seen
they
the picture.
mimic
She's
us, and
white.
then there are urban models. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's getting gigs. So I mean, so it's never cool. Like it's kind of like us being black is not cool enough, but someone else acting black is all the crave. It's like the latest like trend going on, and I honestly I don't understand it, but I really want to talk about this because it's something that we need to get the conversation going. Is that when someone else does it, it's an issue, but when we do it, like when Kodak Black made those comments, when all these comments about dark skin, light skin, like I don't know if you guys know Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas, has made several comments. He has said in the past that he purposely, had kids by a woman who wasn't black. But here's the catch 22. Gilbert Arenas' kids, he has two daughters. They're my complexion. They have my hair tone or my hair texture. They don't look nothing like Gloria Govan. Nothing like her.
I mean, a lot of times, I mean, even in our NFL, you hear this all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like kind of you say, you get once you get on, you leave
Leave
that
your
ass for a white girl. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We see that a lot of brothers in the hood see that as
Right.
a sign of success. That can actually be a
Yeah.
trophy at times.
Yeah, and
Again,
I seen that.
Yeah,
I heard about
and
that.
it's wild. To me, it's wild because
Yeah.
I love our sisters so much.
And I
It's just-
love black men. Like I don't
it's
discriminate against the color. I believe all shades of black is beautiful.
Mhm.
All shades of black. Like
I was gonna
that's
say,
yeah, it is.
because you can put that on I can actually put that on the other foot as a light skinned man.
Yes.
A lot of times, at least as far as for light skinned and dark skinned brothers, there's the whole stereotype of if you're darker, you're harder.
Okay.
You're more. You have. And even if you're not, you have to portray that because you're darker. So I gotta be
Yeah.
hard. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be tough. You know what I'm saying? And light skin is seen as softer as
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Which is false, very false.
I mean, yeah, and
You
then
know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
it's not just men. I don't want to condemn black men for this. Women do it too. Because
Right.
there was
Same thing,
there was
same
a
thing.
whole era where every woman wanted a light skinned, pretty
Mhm.
boy. Because I remember if you ever watched the movie Precious, every time Precious had a vision, she was always daydreaming about a light skinned guy, and he had good
Crazy.
hair. And
It's
so
crazy.
I remember that. And then Wesley Snipes came on the scene, and then all of a sudden like, oh, I want to be a chocolate man. Tay Diggs, oh.
Shout out
Morris-
to Jungle Fever.
yeah, Morris
you know what I mean?
Chestnut.
Shout out to Spike Lee.
Yeah, I mean,
always.
then it was like a wave of women wanting dark skinned men, and it doesn't matter how your preference is. You
Or-
just don't have to degrade
Or
some.
even I'll even again just the light skin versus dark skin in
Yeah.
general. Like my mother grew up in Harlem in the 70s
Okay.
and in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And she's very light skinned. I come through from I ain't mixed. It's two light skinned parents. That's it.
Yeah.
But my mother, as far as back in the hood, a lot of times there's a lot more dark skinned people.
Yeah.
Her mother was straight dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? My auntie, was dark skinned,
Yeah.
but she was high yellow, and her
Yeah.
grandfather is high yellow. So I mean, but she was picked on for being light skinned. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
by
saying?
us.
By us.
Yeah.
Again,
See,
by us.
and that's
Look
weird.
at white girl. Look at
Yeah.
and again in Jungle Fever they touched on that.
Yeah.
High yellow heifer. All of that.
Oh
If
yeah,
y'all-
what about school days with the jiggle? You just
School the
a
jig- oh, yeah, Jigaboo versus-
or,
yeah.
she said your
Wannabes.
eyes are blue,
Yeah.
but you ain't white.
White.
Your hair is straight because you pressed it last night.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Y'all
or
kids don't know about this.
yeah, man. But here's another thing is that we see. I ain't worried about that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know
yeah,
you
yeah,
right.
yeah, baby, yeah, we live. We are
We
live.
live.
Yeah, but what about this? You got women who bleach their skin. I
Yeah.
mean, so we talking about self hate, and the only one I can really think of is Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim is
Little
the main
Kim
one.
was beautiful. I remember Little
Gorgeous.
Kim, legs cocked out with
Queen P was
the what is
gorgeous.
that leather?
Yeah,
the cheetah
the
print
cheetah
bikini
print.
on.
I mean, granted, I ain't sending the best message in
Well,
the
no,
world,
but I'm saying that's
but
how
she was
I remember
bad.
her.
Oh, she was
Biggie
bad.
had a vision for her, and now if you look at Little Kim, all her features are gone. I don't know who she is. This woman is light skinned. She is light skinned. She's done some work to her face, her body. I love Kim back in the day. Like that Kim, I don't know why
Forever.
she changed that. You know, you said Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa
You
is the
know,
main one.
yeah, he bleached his skin. You know,
Mhm.
there was even a meme that he was like Neapolitan, like the ice cream.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like his skin color changed. I mean, another person you like, which is big in Jamaica. They got the little soap, bleaching soap.
Oh
Is
wow.
Vibe Cartel. I was in Jamaica, and actually tonight, if you watch Love and Hip Hop, the reggae artist Spice, who's a dark skinned reggae artist, was contemplating lightening her skin because she can only go so far
Mm.
because of her skin tone. So what she did is she kind of photoshopped her skin to make herself look light skinned,
Right.
and she released a single called Black Hypocrisy, which talks about, it's not the white person talking about my skin tone, it's my own people saying
Right.
you're too black. Like that's wild to me. Like that's hurtful. You're too black and you can't go no further than that because of your skin tone.
Right.
That's gotta hurt. And I understand what she's saying, because I've been discriminated against black men. You live out here in Arizona, black men don't date black women.
I hear that so much. By the
It's
way,
true.
that is,
They do not date black
I
women.
don't
Like
get it.
I have no chance. I have more white
I don't
white
get
men
it.
that like me than black men. And the black men that are gonna like me are gonna be the ones who grew up with women like me,
Mhm.
with the weaves, whatever I do, like they understand my features, everything.
Right.
But these black men out here, it's like they have a diet and they're cutting out black women. Like carbs.
It's crazy. I keep hearing it so
It's true.
often. I mean, I'm not one of them brothers, so I
Okay.
can't relate.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like we pick it. No, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna put, but I don't, I don't date usually
Yeah.
outside. I mean, granted, it's not a big discriminating thing.
Hey,
I
brother,
just-
I don't care if you
You know what I'm
you
saying?
have
Like-
every right to date whoever you want to date. That's
Exactly.
none of my business.
You know
Because
what
at the end of the day, you're your own person.
Right,
You just
right.
don't downgrade or negative stereotypes for your reason why you're dating
But
out your race.
but
That's
it's
all my
not.
thing.
But it's not something I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Even one of my coworkers, she works at one of the nursing facilities that I go to.
Okay.
She's from the Midwest. She's from back in Indiana, and she actually said, when she came out here, she doesn't get hit on the same way. And
Yeah.
a lot of times, I mean, like if you
Yeah.
ever shout out to everybody back east, but if you're
Yeah.
in Philly on South Street, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna catch a lot of these. You gonna get
Yeah.
your ma, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gonna
Yeah.
get cold. I mean, cat called all night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different here, and she kind of like missed that. Granted, that could be aggressive, and it's a
Right.
whole nother negative culture that we gotta do better as brothers as well.
Right.
We have to improve on that. We have to protect our sisters.
Yes.
Our women in
Oh,
general.
we gotta
but we
protect y'all too, baby. Yeah.
but
we
I
gotta
mean, like
protect
we
the
haven't,
black
but y'all
man
been
too.
y'all been protecting us for forever. While we've been the target, y'all have kept, like my mother say, keep the train moving. They
Oh,
picked up the
wow.
ball and they kept it. You had to keep the ball
I mean, but
rolling because otherwise,
these black women are not made the way your mother was made. Like that
Oh, yeah.
generation. I mean, it's a whole cultural shift. Like the
It's-
black
it's
men and
huge.
black women of today are not the same of our parents where
No.
they came from. We're
And-
not that
and-
unified
and-
and,
and that-
strong and
and our
together.
parents ain't
Yeah.
they parents. You
That's
know what I mean?
that's very correct. So I see what
Right.
you're saying. So every generation is
Mhm.
getting a little different. So
I'd
I
say
get
the
your
word for
point.
you, softer.
Message.
We're getting a little softer.
Message.
That's real.
Yes,
Like
we gotta
as,
talk
far,
about
as
it.
much as hard as we, you know what I'm saying, is targeting us, we become docile as the mighty lions. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like that we've become, a whole lot softer than our predecessors were because they had to. As far as our, you done with the woke glasses?
Oh yeah, I'm done
We
with the
still
woke
woke
glasses.
though.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
still
we
woke.
still woke,
Yeah, but
but-
I couldn't see now. Yeah, eyelashes. Yeah.
But as far as the strength of our predecessors, the strength of our forefathers, we're just not there, and it's not our fault,
Yeah.
But I mean, we have to find a solution.
Correct.
We have to do better. We have to stop hating ourselves for these minuscule things. I mean,
Yes.
a great movie, and I caught this a lot. And even I like I said on that putting the shoe on the other foot for
Yeah.
the light skin experience. I actually was told by a white person in high school that you're not really black. Why you so mad? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Wow.
right.
Ooh.
Right. I was like,
see,
whoa.
and
I was
you're
like,
sick.
whoa.
Like I say, President Obama, he wasn't really black. He was black, but if he was Wesley Snipes, if he had a skin tone like that brother would
Shoot,
not
keep it a
have
stack.
made it that far.
I'll give you to keep it being like
Yeah.
if he was African American, because let's keep it a
I mean,
stack.
yeah,
I mean,
his
father,
dad,
his
yeah.
father was African,
His mother
and, his mother
was
was white
white,
woman. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So,
So
I mean,
he was mixed, but yeah,
he
I
ain't
tell
come
people
from the
that
slave quarters. So,
had
I
it been
mean,
Nino Brown running for Wesley Snipes running,
Right.
he would not have made it. But you know what? Speaking of colorism, if you guys want to
True.
yeah, if you
Matter.
guys want to talk about a movie, I remember growing up, my mom, there's a movie that I still watch to this day and I cried, Imitation of Life.
Mm.
If you ever seen Imitation of Life, it's an old school. I think this movie kind of solidifies what we're kind of talking about here. Is it's a movie about a black woman who was a maid for a white woman, and her daughter was so fair skinned that she could pass for white.
Hmm.
So all her life she was trying to pass for white. This is during a time of segregation when blacks, African Americans, we didn't have rights, and of course being white you had all the privilege like today. Um, so her mom would constantly ruin her white privilege. Like there was a scene where she was enrolled in an all white school.
Hmm.
The mother came, her name was Mary Jane, or Sarah Jane, I think is her name in the movie, but she brought her a raincoat or something to the school. And, the teacher was like, well, we don't have any nigger children here.
Hmm.
No, that's my daughter, Sarah Jane.
Right.
And she was like, Mom, she was embarrassed. They didn't know she was black. But she was so fair skinned that she could pass for white. The movie is very sad, but it kind of brought my attention to colorism.
Hmm.
Is that, you got some people who I feel like African Americans who are trying to achieve that, to be accepted by white people, and that they would do drastic things like lighten their skin or maybe fix their nose. I mean, let's
I
think
mean,
about
that's
it.
our,
Like I have
yeah.
African American features.
Hmm.
My nose is wide. I have big lips. That's a part of being African American. Not all African American have that, but for me to change it to appease to a race,
I mean, but
that's
I mean the whole. If you want to do that, I mean our whole
yeah,
insight has been trying to gain acceptance because honestly, we at the end of the day, we kind of just wanted to be treated like people.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We just wanted to be human.
yeah,
Like that was the first step. Can we be
yeah.
human? And then you know what I'm saying? Can I not be a boy? If I'm a 55-year-old man, you know what I'm saying? Like so, it was a lot. It
You're
was
funny.
it's just
Yeah, I
like
know where you're
just
going. Yeah.
simple the
Right.
simple stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's things that we didn't have. So because of that, it kind of created this crabs in a bucket mentality. It's
Yeah.
they even talk about the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
You can go but so far. And
Yeah.
there's probably this hole this in the top of it to where we can't all get through. So I'm gonna step on whoever I
Right.
gotta step on
To get
for
to
me
the
to
top.
get
Right.
for me to get
And
through.
that's
And it's
sad.
sad. And
Because
it's
other races don't do that. I know Hispanics, they stick together.
mhm.
And I grew
And
up
granted,
with
and they I mean they getting beat down too. But at the end of the
yeah,
day,
but
they're
I
not.
mean they're
They unified
they're
at least,
unified.
you know what I'm
Like I
saying?
mean, true story. Like when I was in high school, I seen this Hispanic boy get his ass whooped. He got jumped by some guys. And I kid you not, there was a group of Hispanic guys walking by. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
if they knew each other. They threw their books
Oh,
down
yeah.
and they helped him. I'm like, damn.
Growing up in Arizona, no, we knew about them, man. Them
Yeah,
cats,
like
yeah,
they stick
they ain't
together.
play.
They stick
Yeah, you know what I'm
together. I
saying?
mean,
Going to high
even to
school,
the point where they're
out
about
here,
family.
yeah, they not playing.
You have 4 generations in the
Familia.
same roof. Yeah, like I
Facts.
mean, so I love the unity, but the whole thing about colorism is that we can't get mad at other races for disrespecting
No,
us,
I know.
racism, degrading us when we do it to ourselves. If
Facts.
y'all gonna put that same energy towards people who are not black, we got to start with our community. We got to make these people like a Kodak Black be held and accountable for the things that they said because they are a reflection of us.
But at the same time,
Hmm.
you know, in a way that it's not as public. Like I said, the reprimanding us. We're trying. At the end of the day, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard,
Yeah,
but we do need to keep that same energy.
right.
We
We do.
across the
Yes,
board and
we
stop.
do.
If you gonna do it, if you gonna have that energy at
Yeah.
all, let's point it somewhere else sometimes.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
pointing
we
at
have to.
somebody that looks just like you in
Right.
the same situation as you, trying to get out the same situation that you're in.
Right.
Let's stop taking our anger out on ourselves. I'm not even saying to take that out on other races
Yeah.
or pointing again, we're not advocating for violence at all.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, let's stop being so aggressive with ourselves and let's build on each other. Let's transfer that into love, for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And start
Yeah.
even pushing each other. Like I said, with our small businesses that we're
Yeah,
supporting here.
motivate each other.
our show,
I
like-
mean, but I want to see you win. You got, you're
wanna
a
see you
young,
win.
you're a young black
Mhm.
man who you got goals. You're not trying to sell drugs.
Right.
You're not trying to be a menace to society. You're
Mhm.
trying to better your life. So why would I not want to support that?
Exactly.
Like I don't understand why we can't support one another. I mean, even with internet, you have people. You can have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Try to do something positive and see how many likes you get. Sometimes it's not the same versus you're doing something illegal or crazy. You know, like we have to support each other. Other races support their own community, and I'm not saying that we should be, segregated. But what I'm saying is that
Let's take
us
care
as
of
a
home.
black, right? We have to. We
Let's
have
take care
to.
of home.
Because who's looking out for us? Nobody.
And I was
No
about to
one's
say,
looking out for us at all. So we have to take care of one another. And then, this whole mentality about, you don't want to see the next man come up. Like, why can't we all come up together?
Facts. I mean, there's enough money for everybody.
There
Like,
really
even,
is.
Shout
Yeah.
out to my coworker Toy. She give you the game, and normally she's a consultant, and she,
Okay.
she'll usually charge for this kind of, teaching them just different ways. But she told me, as a young black man, she wanted to see me win.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
want to see all
Why
of
do we,
them.
we feel like, we got, if you get the secret, you got to keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't share, like, there's not enough space for all of us. It's
Right.
it's that mentality that, that everybody's not going,
Right.
everybody can't come get in the house.
Right. And I always said this: the blessing that God has for you, no one can take. I mean,
Facts.
God gives us all blessings. I feel like we're all on this earth for a purpose.
All
And
praise to the
Nipsey
Most
said
High.
something that, I've been listening to a lot of Nipsey. I'm not trying to, be a advocate for Nipsey, because I'm just listening to this man the more that I'm hearing about him. But there's a line where he says, and, I might misquote this, but he said basically, if, you're not living for your purpose, you're wasting air.
Yes.
And if that hit home, it's like I have so many goals I want to do. This is one. Music. There's a lot of things I want to do, but he made a very good point. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting air if you're not doing, what your purpose is.
Facts.
And you have to find out what that is.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, some people never do
Some
that,
people
but
never
I
do.
mean, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late, but we want to open a conversation. We have our own we have a page together.
Right.
Negus with Opinions on Instagram.
That's NEGUS with opinions.
Yes, and then we have our individual Facebook pages, Deanne Ford,
Lamont Rich.
and also we have our YouTube saying Negus with Opinions. So we really want this conversation to keep going.
Absolutely.
Long after we end this broadcast, but your input means everything to us, and like we're gonna try to do this every.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, every Monday we're gonna
Yes,
be back
every
at
Monday
it.
we're gonna be talking about some interesting things. Like, this is just the icing on the cake. Like,
We just getting started. Shoot.
yeah, y'all don't understand how excited I am. Like, my excitement is like if you're telling a child or a kid you're going to McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, they be in a
We
hurry.
got food at the house.
Yeah, no, but kids, they get excited for McDonald's, and
Facts.
you know what I mean.
No.
So
you
I'm
know.
just saying, like, I'm so
Mom's
excited.
kept driving sometimes.
I know, right? You passed about 3 or 4 to teach you a lesson, yeah.
Facts.
But yeah, I'm just really excited for
want
this
McDonald's.
opportunity, and I love doing this with you, man.
Absolutely.
Like,
I
we're
love
gonna
doing
get
it with
better,
you. Absolutely.
but we need your support, and we always encourage feedback, because that's how you
Absolutely.
get better.
Positive,
Just
negative.
don't come for us. Like, come on now.
You can bring it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now listen.
It ain't sweet.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm about to do a colorist saying, well, yeah, you can't take it, but never mind.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
the
look at that.
nonsense.
Yeah, look at that. But no, but
I didn't
no,
even get all
seriously.
everything I wanted
Yeah.
to cover on that, but you know what?
Oh, you
But
can, brother. Go ahead.
No. It's all good.
Okay.
I mean, we ain't. It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. We appreciate everybody
Yes.
who came and viewed with
Yes.
us. Spent this Monday
Instagram
night.
Live, Facebook,
Everybody
watching
who's
this video on YouTube.
Whoever's going to be watching
Anchor.
throughout the week,
Yes.
listen to us. Thank you.
Thank you so
we're
much.
nothing without you.
Yes, we are, and we are grateful for your time. And like I said, every Monday, tune in at 8 o'clock. I need to work on being on time. Like, damn, I'm always late.
Working on
Always late.
CPT is
Yeah,
real.
and that's sad, but like I said, we're gonna wrap this up, and reach out to us on our personal page. Follow us on Instagram, again, Negus with Opinions. Don't say niggas, Negus.
Because
He had to
royalty.
correct me on that, yeah. So
Royalty.
but we're gonna end this. You want to say any last remarks, D. Rich?
No, that's gonna close it for me, yo. Y'all have a blessed week.
We should have like a jingle.
Peace
at the
and
end.
love. We definitely we gonna have the music and all of that good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, so we can ease
Yes.
out. You know what I mean?
Good
But
times.
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
All right, now.
y'all.
Y'all have a good week. Peace.
Peace. All right.